Welcome back to another episode. Today I am going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the Tesla pickup, and we are getting so close to seeing how this truck actually looks. And this is important. This is a big step in for Tesla, and I guess for all of us who are Tesla supporters. One of the greatest assets I think to Tesla is they don't just release these concepts, they release a vehicle that they show off and then they say, here you go, this is what the car is going to look like. Unlike all the other manufacturers, concepts are basically annoying to me. I don't pay attention to anybody who brings out a concept. And the key reason for that has everything to do with the fact that it's almost never what they claim is going to be. Tesla themselves are really good at releasing the information about a certain vehicle, and then you pretty much know what you're going to get. It's going to be very similar to what they've talked about, if not exactly the same. Obviously there's tons of concept arts going around and it's great, but concept art means really nothing at the end of the day, because these are not from Tesla, these are from everyone else, and basically just people trying to figure things out. This is on the 21st, Tesla will be unveiling the truck, and along with some specs, along with some details. And this is a big thing, because if Tesla's market for this is just absolutely enormous, I don't think most people really truly understand how big this market is. The truck market is absolutely massive, and that's mostly here in North America. If Tesla happens to catch 1% of the truck market, the pickup truck market, I honestly don't think they'll be able to keep up with demand. That kind of gives you an idea of how big this market really is. Now, what does Tesla need to do in order to make this truck successful? And I think this is a question that really pops up in a lot of YouTuber videos and just in conversations in general. So here are my top 3 things that Tesla is going to need to unveil to really make this a very appealing truck. Number 1 has to be the range. 600 kilometers is basically the minimum range that you'd want to get to a truck. And that's obviously loaded. That means that you're doing that with load, right? The towing capacity for a Tesla truck is going to have to be better than pretty much anything out there. And that's one way to really grab people's attention. The second part to that is load capacity. It's how much can you put into the truck. But I think the third and most important aspect of this is it going to be a full-size truck? And what I mean by this, will it have an actual 8-foot bed? You have to remember, trucks for some people, it's just a truck. It's rarely ever used, and these are the people who buy the trucks because they like trucks. Maybe they'll put something into that truck once in a blue moon. More than likely, never really anything in it. If you really look around your neighborhood and you decide to drive around a little bit, one of the biggest things you're going to see is there are a lot of trucks that have absolutely nothing in the back, and not to mention they are pristine looking trucks. People just have them. Me personally, I have no idea why. If you don't use it, don't have it. But to each their own, and everybody loves certain types of vehicles. I personally like hatchbacks. I like sportier looking cars. But I also like girthier cars. It's one of the reasons that I like the Model S compared to the Model 3. The Model 3 is a more small, practical car, whereas the Model S is kind of a beast and an oversized vehicle that really makes it difficult to find parking half the time. However, the truck, it kind of fits into the same category, but nevertheless, people buy them. And that's kind of the point here. For those people, the sales, I have no doubt, is going to go well. But for the true contractors, for the true people involved in the industry of working with trucks, I am a general contractor by trade, and I do happen to have well, our family happens to have a F-150 full-size bed. And the key reason for I guess the best way to explain this is, if you want the construction world to take you in, or the laborers to take you seriously, you have to pretty much give the option for a full-size bed. Anybody working in a construction industry or the renovation industry, they're gonna be looking at having basically drywall that they gotta carry out. You're looking at 8x4 pieces of drywall. You're not gonna put that into your average 6x4 bed. And it's not impossible, it's just not practical. The truck I drive when I'm doing my job and when I need the truck happens to be a Ford F-150 XLT full bed truck. That means I can fit an 8x4 drywall sheet in there. Now, let's say, for example, I was to consider upgrading that truck to a Tesla truck. If that option was even to come up, it would have to be a full-size bed. I have no real use for a 6-foot bed. Here's the kicker. I can put a lot of things into my Model S. I really don't need a truck. Now, I know people are going to say, well, can you put your motorcycles on? No, I can't put my motorcycles there, obviously. But nevertheless, the truck has to be useful. For the people who buy the truck or will consider the truck as just, everyday people, great. I think the market will be there. The fact that it's electric, again, the only way to really make that jump for some of these people is going to be strictly to, give them the range, right? Now, I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out. Like I said, Tesla only needs 1% of the total truck market, and boy, are they going to make an impact. This truck will be successful, in my opinion, regardless of what they do. But they can dominate the truck market by giving the options for the true working class people, the people who are actually working with these trucks. And you have to remember, when a truck is in pristine condition, you look at some of these 5-6-year-old trucks on the streets and they are in pristine condition. That's not a working truck. In fact, maybe about 4% of the total working trucks are in somewhat decent condition. Trucks get hit, right? It's a workhorse. And this is the part that I'm kind of worried about. I don't think Tesla's truck, whatever it's going to end up looking like, I don't know if Tesla's truck is going to be able to be a workhorse. My bigger concern is there's a massive battery pack under the car. You'd be surprised how many times real working trucks end up, getting hit, right? Getting hit, especially in the undercarriage. You're taking it off road, you're going into the construction site, you might, go over something and then bam, when it lands on boulder. You have a massive battery pack there. So hopefully Tesla thought of that and they kind of reinforced the bottom really, really well. And as for taking it off road, I don't know how they're going to do it. More than likely, it's going to be, air suspension is very likely. Adaptive suspension is going to be very likely. I think ultimately Tesla's truck is one that everybody is looking forward to for a really, really, really good reason. It's going to change how we look at trucks, just like the Model 3 changed how we look at these mid-size sedans. You look at where the Model 3 is taking business from. I mean, they're taking business from Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas, heck, even you're looking at some of the luxury cars. I mean, they're stealing business from them, but people are trading it in because the car makes sense. It's the right size. It's perfect for the city. It's perfect for the highway. It's perfect for trips. The Model 3 really stole that segment, and there's a reason they are such, they're on top right now. The Model S and X have done less sales, but they are much, much more expensive vehicles. But nevertheless, look at the market that they're hitting. I mean, if it was up to me, and it was up to me, I sure as heck wouldn't trade my Model S for anything. It works for the segment that I really want to enjoy that car for. And I think this is the key thing here. Tesla has a wonderful opportunity to just destroy the market. I mean, just absolutely clobber the market when it comes to the truck market. But is Tesla going to want to do this? And this is the biggest thing. We are looking forward to it on the 21st to see this unveiling. And I think there's some strategy that Tesla is going to be playing here. I think they're going to be aiming these cars at the everyday Joe Blow who just likes trucks. I don't think they're necessarily going to be targeting the working force. And the key reason for that is they simply wouldn't be able to keep up with demand. And I don't think they would want a product that is basically out there and really doesn't work for the general public. It doesn't work for the working force if they can't make it for the working force. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's all speculation at this moment, but the 21st is going to be very, very important, I think, as far as what Tesla's unveiling is going to be like. We know that with Elon, he's talking about this cyberpunk truck, and there's an advantage and disadvantage. Some people will love something different. Trucks are pretty much looking the same, but you're still in competition with, seriously, I mean, if I look at the working trucks today, you're talking about the Ford, you're talking about Chevy, you're talking about Dodge Ram, and those are the three massive trucks that really have proven themselves time and time again. And you're not going to easily convince many people who have those trucks to switch over to a Tesla unless you're going to give them something that Ford, Chevy, and Dodge simply can't. With that said, I think it's going to be interesting. Now, the bigger question is, am I going to buy one? As I said, we have a business where we do need to use a truck. And for me, I just don't know if I will do it or not. If we end up seeing that there's a purpose for it, it makes sense, definitely will be something that we're going to consider. At this point, I am not, again, a truck person. I'm not crazy about trucks. What I am crazy about is being able to take my materials from point A to point B and not really care about that truck. I just want to be able to throw things in there and know that it works. Ford has been really good at that. All the Ford trucks we have had, they've always stood up to the test of time and to the test of strength. So I have a very good idea about what it takes to drive these trucks, and I've used it quite a bit in my life. My dad has used it pretty much exclusively for more years than I can remember. So we have a little bit of an insight on this, and I can tell you right now, it would take a great deal to I guess make us switch over, despite the fact that I am a massive Tesla fan. Obviously, I support Tesla in every sense of the word, but this is not something that I think I know what to think of yet. I typically don't like to speculate. This, on the other hand, I get asked about constantly. You cannot imagine the amount of people that have asked me about this. I think it is still the number one question I get. It's not about the Roadster, it's not about any other car, it's the pickup. And of course, for me, that makes sense. I work in a construction industry. I work around trucks all the time, and I work around people who have trucks. So it makes sense that I get a lot of questions regarding trucks. In fact, I just had this conversation a couple of days ago with someone else, and yesterday with someone else. So I have a little bit of a real insight on a real everyday use of trucks. The bottom line is, for everyday people, I think the truck is gonna sell. I think its unique design that Tesla is talking about, Elon is talking about, I think is gonna appeal to people. For the working class, for the people who need these trucks to be a workhorse, I am not sure if they're gonna be able to pull that off. That's just my opinion. The 21st is going to be a big day, and I keep saying that. Frankly, I can't wait for it. And the biggest reason I can't wait for it is because I will finally get a ton of people who will stop asking me about the truck. Now, I know that people are still going to be asking me about the truck, but there's going to be a ton of people who I think I'll have a better information to tell them, because right now I can't say anything. We don't really know anything. Until Tesla doesn't do their unveiling, we have no idea what's going on. With all that said, thank you very much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate your support. Help me get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers, because that's gonna unlock a few options on my channel. YouTube basically is funny that way. Once you get to 1,000 subscribers, then they unlock some options so I can start doing live streams with you guys and a few other things. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to drive safe, and that's it. And by the way, if you are using Tesla Smart Summon, be smart about how you're using it. I'm tired of seeing this stuff in the news about people being silly. All right, that's it. Goodbye. See ya.